The Activision Blizzard merger with Xbox is yet again facing another hurdle, this time in the form of a SOC Investment Group asking people to vote against the deal. Let's talk about what's happening here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go live. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. So this one just popped up. Let's read it really quick together. The SOC Investment Group has penned a letter to Activision Blizzard shareholders to reject the Microsoft deal, with the stockholders meeting set for April 28th. The collective says that the acquisition fails to properly value Activision. Now, Microsoft is offering well above the market value of Activision, but if this group gets them to deny it, I have to imagine that if this doesn't go through, that's it. Like, Microsoft's not going to continue trying to acquire that company, and I don't imagine that anybody else is going to attempt to also. So it would mean that Activision would remain independent. But let's continue on and see what else they said. As for undervaluing them, I don't know about that. They're offering $95 a share. But let's continue. Today, the SOC Investment Group released a letter asking them to vote against the deal. As reported by VGC, the stockholder meeting to vote for or against the acquisition is on the 28th. The merger can't go through unless a majority vote is reached. This transaction fails to properly value Activision and its future earnings potential, in significant part because it ignores the role that the sexual harassment crisis and the Activision board's incompetent handling of it has played in delaying product releases and depressing the share price, the SOC said in the letter. Now, let's just look really quick, because I can easily bring up Robinhood and we can see historically the value of Activision and see if there is any credibility to what the group is asking for. Now, I don't know if this is a play to get a higher bid per share. These are people that obviously stand to profit a lot if this were to go through. So here I've brought up the data. Let's see over five years. So the highest that Activision Blizzard ever traded at was $103 a share, and I believe Microsoft is offering somewhere in the $95 range. That was only in February 12th of 2021. And you can see there was another spike here where they got up to 98 in 2021. This is like during COVID hysteria. The only time they ever managed to hit numbers like that was in 2018. So historically, I think Microsoft's offering a pretty good price. This is about when the deal talk was happening. Even with the bounce back, they only bounced back to $80 a share, which is where they were at in 2018. They had seen a huge decline. Back then, they had slowly been climbing up. They're in the 80s, and then COVID happened, and then they kind of skyrocketed there before all the bad news. So I'm not sure that I agree with that. I think 95 is a pretty fair price, but they do have something in terms of saying, did this negatively impact the offer that they could have gotten? Yeah, probably. But I guess that's what happens when you let sexual harassment and terrible things fester at your company for that long. Like, it is going to have a negative impact on your stock value. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm sort of reacting to this live. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, all these terrible things happen in your company. You treated people terribly. You're finally bringing on people full time and getting things together, but it took too long. So yeah, you're getting a lower offer once the acquisition went through. Anyway, continuing, we do not believe that Activision shareholders should be looking to a transaction to rebuild the value lost by Activision's management's failure to ensure workplace safety and equity, and by the board's failure to respond constructively to the burgeoning crisis. I actually think that's accurate. I guess what they're really saying is that they want to clean house themselves as opposed to having Microsoft come in and clean it. But you had like a decade to do that. So This isn't the first time that the SOC Investment Group has been vocal about Activision Blizzard. Last year, the collective said that the game publisher's executives need to be held accountable for its alleged toxic working culture. So that's what they're opting for investors to do. I have to sneeze. Sorry, I held it as long as I could. But yeah, this is just another angle where Microsoft is going to face challenges with being able to acquire Activision Blizzard. And if this deal doesn't go through, I am going to be very curious what happens with Activision Blizzard. As an Xbox fan, like, I don't care if this deal goes through or not, because most of Activision Blizzard's games are cross-platform, or they're available on PC where I already play. It's more interesting because of what it means for the industry and how everybody's acquiring everything right now. So it's interesting, but I am starting to feel more and more doubtful as time progresses, because it does seem like this has become somewhat of a focal point for so many different people. We had the Elizabeth Warren story not that long ago. You have this investment group telling people to vote against it. April 28th is going to be right around the corner. So if the workers say, we don't want this to happen, that's it. The deal's dead. And their stock is likely going to tank, in which Activision themselves have said anyway. And hopefully they can still clean up the terrible things that have been happening at the company. The one positive note I will say is either this merger or Activision, taking a long, hard look at themselves, has resulted in them hiring new talent for diversity and inclusion. It's also resulted in better working conditions for their people. They've converted a ton of their QA to full-time for a very, very reasonable salary. And there was also the Gavin Newsom article yesterday about how Gavin Newsom was, chasing litigation against these people, or at least the lawyers of California were, and then all of a sudden he just fired one of them out of the blue. I don't have more context about that story, but this whole deal has been mired in controversy, partially because of everything that's happened with Activision Blizzard in the past and leading up to this, but also because of Microsoft's historical challenges. Like, if you think back to the Bill Gates days and how the whole Apple thing shook out and the antitrust issues they had to deal with back in the day, I think it does make a lot of people take a long, hard look at this. I do think people are looking at the wrong thing. I don't see any issue with the deal happening. It's what happens to their cloud services, and then will they have a stranglehold on the market, so to speak. And that is the angle that I think people often miss. Holglaw talked about it in his video. It's like, that's the one area where they could potentially face issues, and everybody, like Warren, coming at it from the perspective of, well, this could make things worse for employees. It's just so bizarre to me, because she could have tackled it from so many different perspectives that honestly I probably would have agreed with. But for that to be the one, when they've been dealing with terrible working conditions, it was so bizarre, and it just seems so out of touch with what's been going on with the deal. Granted, like, it's such a weird situation, right? Is her bill's goal positive things for employees? Yes, absolutely. But using this as a focal point for it, I mean, it would actually help the employees. So wouldn't she want to see the deal go through? That's sort of the question. Anyway, this is going to be a story that doesn't go away anytime soon until the deal goes through. I think this continues to be embroiled in controversy. I think Microsoft will fight if they have to, but this shareholder thing, if this is voted no, it's dead. The deal is dead. So like, if your shareholders just say, yeah, we don't want the money, we would rather stay independent, then that's it. The deal's done, right? They've made their choice. Anyway, that's this story in a nutshell. That's what's going on. So yet another challenge for Activision Blizzard and Xbox to overcome. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell to know when these videos go live. I do appreciate you watching. If you'd like to know... oh my goodness, I'm a little tired today. If you would like to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to all of the members who support this channel. I greatly appreciate all of you. Of course, click that join button. You want these ad-free? I see people complain about the ads. It's like, well, become a member and they go away. So thank you so much to all of the members. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.